without further ado, we're going to see another of the same map, of course, but likely going to see a different kind of playstyle from these two teams. Is iDomina, of course, Regime being a new team as well, but iDomina being a fresh roster that just kind of did the quals and managed to get in. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to play this map that's so kind of linear. Yellow and Ash going to be banning first, however, and the timer was skipped, indicating that they have exactly what idea they want to ban. And Ying is not going to be available for this entire match for either team in this case. So I'm not going to be surprised if we see some type of like Blackbeard or maybe a Glaz ban, as Glaz is very impactful. But no, we're going to see a Thatcher ban from iDomina. That's an operator with utility, however, a bit confusing. That's an impactful one, but not really one that's kind of, you would think, to be banned based on like round winning potential.
It's an interesting one. To me, that says that they want to try and utilize mute to the best advantage. Just try and play mutes on top of the island. So just seeing that Thatcher ban come out makes me think that we're going to be seeing iDomina, when they head to their defenses, utilize the basement as their primary.
That's true, but that's kind of only one operator that you're effectively countering. Otherwise, if you want to take out something like a bandit charge or maybe Elemines, you could just use maybe a gun or an IQ, and we don't see an IQ ban, so it's not like that's not an option in this case. But that kind of tells me that they're just kind of lazy. They want to get this map over with.
Mm-hmm.
A mute
there goes a yellow
well.
on Ash ban, so I guess they read that, because that is a pretty indicative notion of if you are going to be banning out Thatcher, then you're going to know that you're going to be placing some mutes on that island downstairs, because it forces the attackers to walk downstairs. Like you said with the IQ or something, there's no other way to get the mute jammers downstairs. There's no vertical destruction in towards laundry or facing down anywhere in towards the basement objectives. So you can't get rid of those mute jammers unless you walk downstairs, or maybe you have a Twitch drone get in there somehow. But if you have two mute jammers on the island, you can put another mute jammer at the base of the laundry stairs, and a mute jammer or a Twitch drone won't be able to get past that. And we're also going to have Can, whose current in-game ID is Man for some god-awful reason. He's going to be picking up the Montaigne to start things off.
Well, there's no one more of a man than Montaigne. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, we saw in the pregame where we saw the lineups for these guys, Can's primary ops, this guy likes playing shields. He's the clash mate on defense, right? So no shield bans means this guy's going to have free reign to do whatever he wants on any given round. And considering the fact that he's used to these operators, this is going to be a heck of this is going to be a show for us to see what he can do to this roster of Yellow and Ash from this Montaigne, because as we've seen many times before, talented Montaigne players, they have an impact in the round. Montaigne is not just a standing wall that sits there. He can give info, that's the most basic of things, but he can also pressure in a way that no other attacker can pressure, both having line of sight as well as the ability to unshield at any given time. And the defenders have no idea when you're going to do anything other than to stare at them. So that's an interesting pick from Can, excuse me. And Yellow is going to have a heck of a time trying to stop that kind of push.
Another interesting note to take in is that with Yellow on Ash electing to, or I guess spotting out that strategy that iDomina was trying to bring in through the bans, and that they elected to ban the mute, they've left Mira open to the defending side while attacking first, and that's a predicament to be had here for iDomina to go against a Mira on Oregon. Oh my, there's a Doc and a Valkyrie inside of Classroom and main lobby. It's Doodle and Nog, and Doodle's going to get lit up by the P9 of Can. Is that Monty pushing through, and Nog is going to acquire the first kill onto Uncle Moist. So he evacuates up the Armory stairs and ducks inside of Armory. Now Can lighting up Nog a little bit more, but knifing away the shield. And Holiday Nog will win out the battle once again, while Doodle, cordoned off inside a meeting, cannot be healed up from the stim pistols, and Nog will use them on himself instead, still raining terror above as this entry in from iDomina stalled in its tracks.
Yeah, the Montaigne going down right off the bat, that's not going to bode well for the attackers. Not only is that a man down, but that's likely the majority of your push just off the board already, and that's not even half the round done. And the defenders have so much manpower as well as kills to work with. Another headshot from Nog. We're looking at a 5 versus 2. He's trying to turn it into a 1 versus 2, but Nog has it in yellow with another headshot, and Jolly and Mort fall, and iDomina don't get a single pick in that first round. Very convincing from yellow on Ash. Look at that, rocking up the main stairs. He doesn't even know what hit him.
Well, like I said, eDomina, they scream aggression to me when I see their roster. Holiday Nog starting off with a monstrous 4K on the roaming dock of all things. Something tells me this map is going to be something to behold. Honestly, this looks like it's going to be wild. Can flexing the Blitz, the Montaigne, and the Finca, all his possibilities, and we'll have to wait for 6-pick to see what he finally concludes he wants to play in this round. The Mira not being selected so far from Yellow One Ash, as they head upstairs for their defense. As like you said, not a single kill on the side of eDomina, but also no entry in towards the objective. Everyone on eDomina is so focused on trying to cordon off Holiday Nog upstairs and just can't win out their gun battles, and that's all it came down to, was gun battles. They gave Holiday Nog the perfect opportunities to win out with a low recoil, high rate of fire, decent damage, ACOG weapon. He ran train with it. There was no coordination of a pinch or slowing down from eDomina. Instead of, when they lost their first attack, or slowing down and trying to regroup and assess the situation and try to reassess with a pinch on two fronts onto Holiday Nog, they just sent one after another up the stairs at him, and it did not work out for them. They went 1v1 gun battles with Nog, and Nog won out, and that's kind of what I'm imagining we're going to see from eDomina for the rest of the match tonight, is that they might not have the most coordination, but they're sure going to bring a gunfight to you in every single possible chance they get.
Oh yeah, and Nog holding down very well, admittedly. He was taking a 1v1 versus a Montaigne at one point, and that's not an easy one to win, but unfortunately, Can extending a bit too far, getting a shield punched out of the way, and getting his feet shot off at the end, and likely going for a similar type of play right now. Nog's going to take that gunfight again, but not going to win it as early as he did the last time.
A bulletproof camera place to watch down short, and I guess it's just going to help the roam game progression, as Uncle Moist now repelled outside of the armory window, and Holiday Nog continuously checking this bulletproof camera, waiting for someone to make that entry into garage. Alpaca's taking a lot of damage in the process. Can't tell where that's from. Looks like he's still outside the front door. Is everyone really... Doodle, I think he might have hopped out the white stairs window, as now I can see the outline of Alpaca outside the front door. They're playing off the Valkyrie cameras, so as much as I thought eDomina was going to bring the fight to Yellow One Ash, it seems to be also being reciprocated here from Yellow One Ash on their defensive side, not shying away from the gun battles themselves.
They have the information to these Valcams. This is going to be a tough task to spot them without an IQ, and they don't have that on the board right now. They're giving all the info, and they know they're on the roof, but eDomina is still patient as always. Excuse me, Yellow and Ash patient as always. They don't want to go for anything that's going to allow them to lose a round, and they know everything right now. A player at big window, he's going to be spotted out, called out. Montaigne's going to be challenged as well. And Odd's going to get the first kill. Excuse me, Doodle with one on a Mort, and 4 versus 5 in favor of the defenders. Traded back over on with Alpaca. Player in 1 HP, but he does manage to take 100 off of Doodle. It's now 1:05 and Execute starting to come out, and Jolly falls. Nog with another one for his name. Cookie Zed with one of his own, a headshot into him. The Moist goes down, but the bomb does manage to get planted. Can is not taking very much damage from the smoke at the moment.
Oasis is going to clean up Alpaca, and now the ADS here from Can as he knows the swarm of defenders come rushing onto him like a crashing wave through that door of the exothermic charge, and a fruitless plant inside of generator there. I mean, I guess he smoked himself off and got the plant down, Can did, but after that, I mean, the ADS shots did not land with the P9. He also didn't get his shield back up in time to fully block the knife coming in. I mean, that was, again, eDomina trying to play this shield game with the aggression, and it's just not working out for them.
Yeah, speaking of that 1, 2, 3 kind of step-by-step pace that you have to take on Oregon, these guys are not really following the textbook, and as we can see, not following the book means that you're going to get some pretty bad grades. Yellow and Ash have taken 2 flawless rounds, almost flawless rounds. They've lost to 1 man so far to Alpaca, but that is the only casualty they've had on their side of the board. And otherwise, they're looking very, very good to take this entire map so far, and they're going to have to go on to a third defense in kitchen, but as we've seen, they've looked so strong in the first 2 that I would be surprised if they were to lose out on this one just to a different bomb site. I mean, they are a CL team, as mentioned before. These guys are prepared for basically everything. They have nothing that they're really lacking on in terms of map preparation, site preparation, or like anything of that sort. They can go anywhere they want. And they're likely going to have to practice for here, too. And not even selecting a Mira, even though she is unbanned. They're confident enough to just let this go and play off the info that they're going to get off the Echo drones and possibly any bulletproof cams they're going to have. As we've seen Nog bring that before in previous rounds. Electing not to get that barbed wire because they're not even afraid of the aggression that's coming out from iDomina or any of it. Like they have the information from bout cams of previous rounds, and they're so coordinated that they basically have a hive mind going on inside of them, and everything's going well so far.
Well, I'd be remiss not to mention the strafe voting percentages, and maybe it was just the crowd perception of organization representation versus none on the side of Yellow and Ash. But the vote on strafe, we've partnered with for the season, eDomina led it 65%, 28% to Yellow on Ash for the win, and 7% voting in favor of a tie. That's a little interesting there. I wonder if maybe, like I said, they just checked the orgs, which eDomina has representation of the roster, and Yellow on Ash, not a real org. They're just 5 players who are not represented, at least inside of CCS, by an organization. I wonder if maybe people on Strafe didn't check the rosters, because just looking at this at face value, I'm not exactly shocked at the scoreline we have so far. We're only 2 rounds deep on Oregon. But that's an interesting one. I'm very shocked by those voting results from the viewers.
Yeah, just to keep in mind, we haven't even seen the attacking side of Yellow and Ash yet. They've been on the defense so far, and they've looked beautiful. But when you put that Yellow on Ash, I mean, Ash is not banned out right now. Yellow's just going to go on a tear. I expect it to be kind of like a joystick scenario, but in this case, okay, well, Doodle still gets 2 frags. Can and Alpaca falling right off the bat, and Oasis with the headshot of his own. Already half the round, not even the laps. All that's been taken off the defense is HP, and Yellow and Nog finish it off. 2 beautiful shots from them, and not even a single chance for any of them to get in the building. I'm pretty sure most of them died outside, other than the 2 in the showers.
I'm so confused at what the game plan is for eDomina. So you got 1 kill through 3 rounds. That's Alpaca. Good job. In that round specifically, which lasted 45 seconds to a minute, maybe? Like, a minute is generous. You lose a Sledge and a Zofia to a Jaeger posted up inside of showers. There's 1 piece of barbed wire and 1 ADS stalling it out. You're Zofia. You could clear 2 ADSs if you wanted. And then you have 2 frag grenades on Sledge. Why just stand in the barbed wire? Why? What do you have utility? This isn't Call of Duty. Try using it. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy here, but like, I don't know, man. Have some sort of coordination or use some utility, or like I said to the other idiots, there's 3 minutes in a round. Have at it. Use them all. I don't know, man. That's probably the dumbest thing I've seen all season. I'll say that way.
What are you gonna? You can't really. There's nothing to analyze about a round like that, other than the fact that they walked into guns. And as most of you probably know in chat, walking into a gun is not a very good option for you if you want to be alive.
Attackers are moving out,
and that's what they're doing. They just walked into the Jaeger without using their utility. Oh, actually, I'm pretty sure the Zofia Zofia'd herself, if I'm correct. I saw a little stun effect on the screen for a second there. But if anything, they lost the gunfight nonetheless. 2 of them to a Jaeger that was potentially stunned. If not, it was still the potential to stun the Jaeger. That was just a very confusing one. And then, okay, they get an entry now. This is the second kill that they have on their team. Uncle Moist gets a pick on a doodle, and it's one of the ACOGs off the board, but not a lot of utility. I mean, he's not gotten very much to offer there other than the armor, which has not been entirely picked up, but it doesn't really matter very much. He just got a bit of info, knows that they're entering in top floor, and the cam is even going to give some of that away, but that is doubling their entire kill count for the map so far. And Nog here looking to even out the man count by peeking in through those main stairs all the way from Big Tower, and the Echo Drone going to give the info as well. Uncle Moist is going to get lit up from set operator back in Big Tower. And this just seems to have completely stalled on the main stairs. They're trying to hunt this guy now back in back tower. Mort with the drone and Can with the shield is going to get lit up, and Moist at about 1 HP has everything to do in this fight. Can isn't going to really contribute.
Cookies up top inside of T3, and then they're going to light up now Can. And a little over 25 HP from T3 and the T2 stairs. A bad decision to try and ADS with no support. Jolly at least will trade out Nog, but there goes Yellow on the SMG-11. It's a flurry of kills back and forth as Mort will clean up Yellow and get a second one on Oasis. And now, trying to get back to the bomb site is Cookies vaulting down from T3. Shreds Uncle Moist with the bearing 9. Down to a 1v2. Mort has Diffuser. Jolly descending down the main armory stairs. Now Cookies trying to use the Yokai. Trying to assess its location as the plant will get completed, and Cookies just couldn't maneuver the Yokai off the top of that laundry machine behind the basket. And now try and maneuver it out again. It's stuck in behind. They'll at least spot out Mort inside of the laundry rotate. They didn't even bother to open up the hatch, so the attackers downstairs in a good position, split up between bomb sites now as Cookie descends down the laundry stairs. Pre-fire towards hallway, standing directly on top of the diffuser, spots at the Claymore, turning the corner with the bearing 9, but Jolly covering from underneath the hallway hatch, so an extension there from Yellow on Ash to maneuver without without a lot of sight control, and eDomina recognizing this fact and sending 2 upstairs on the clear, but everybody else storms the gulag into the objective and takes control, gets the plant down, and it's game over for Yellow on Ash.
That is the first round that they've actually managed to secure in this entire map, and they've got a long ways to go if they wish to take the entire map in of itself. But I mean, that wasn't even a convincing round. It was a round that went back and forth. There were trades, which is, to be said, well played from the side of eDomina. However, there were trades. Every other round so far has been absolutely domination from the side of Yellow and Ash. And you've just got to the point where you can kind of compete with them in the same level. That's not going to cut it in this matchup. You need to reverse that side of domination and pick up a couple rounds for yourself in convincing fashion in order to... Yellow and Ash have got... Their morale is so high right now. Like, they know that they are just better than eDomina, proven by the first 3 rounds almost flawlessly won. And somehow eDomina have to break that, and by winning 1 round isn't going to do that. They have to do a lot more to be able to take this map even close to even, like, I don't even know, match point if they want to wish.
10 seconds left.
Well, I imagine the overextension of map control there for Yellow on Ash won't happen again. This time they're defending the top 4 bomb site instead of laundry, and Oasis using the unfortunate the Valcam disintegrating on an indestructible wall above that lamppost, so sacrificed utility for pretty much no reason, but the supercharged Valk throwing ability for Oasis didn't do him much service there. Can again trying to make this entry in. Can, I gotta ask, if you're the shield player, why are you trying to enter in alone all the time? Like, yes, you've got people within range to, I guess, refrag you, but it's always just Can trying to make a push by himself, and that's never really worked out for him as that lone shield player with not a lot to support him, and that's the biggest issue he's been running into each time.
Yeah, taking 1v1s with shield, especially as a Steam player like Can is used to, it should be free kills for him, but the other side has been playing so well so far. And right now, even still, Nog with the first pick on a Mort, Starts off the round for his team very well. And that's not the main door. That's outside. I thought that was inside, but no. Mort goes for a peek with his own ACOG out. And he takes the thermite. That is a big operator to frag out right off the board, and that's a minute gone, but the wall is likely still going to be solid up inside a master for some... You know what? That's a bit awkward. That's a thermite holding flank and losing his life to said operator that he was holding flank for.
Yeah, typically you'd want anyone else to hold that flank, not your breacher, and you'd especially want him to win that gunfight and not lose it. Now you've got Holiday Nog inside a classroom. He's going to be spotted out by Can. The support on the armory stairs. Uncle Moist peeking in through the bottom white window will dispatch of a wild doodle. And now close up and personal now will be Holiday Nog up against Can. He'll back away further as he knows there's not a whole lot he can do against the fully deployed shield. He'll duck back in the kitchen, but losing another member on site was Oasis falling at the hands of Uncle Moist, and he'll get a third now. Dispatched of now by the F2. So Yellow, the last man on site. So again, you know, I said maybe Yellow on Ash wouldn't overextend, but it seems that they've done so, taking a lot of aggressive peeks, trying to match what eDomina are bringing. And there goes the ADS now from Can. A wide peek out from Yellow with the SMG-11 bearing in. The least dispatch of the Twitch holding his big window rotate, but here comes the biggest thorn in his side of all. The Montaigne full shield pressed right up in his face, and yeah, this is fun. Able to tag him once in the foot to about half HP, but gonna have to do that a couple more times without any interference from the other two remaining attackers inside of Generator. And now here comes the ADS from Can. Read like a book by Yellow, but he mag dumps into the shield and can't land the shots into the head. Now turning the corner with the shotgun. That doesn't down the Ash somehow, but Can still finishes it off with the pistol regardless. So anyway, it's a 3-2 game.
Oh, well done by eDomina to bring it back. They're not exactly even on round count just yet, but they're getting there, and they're certainly becoming more and more convincing about it with 3 players left instead of just 1 at the end. So getting better. Jolly with 3 frags, admittedly not matching Nog just yet, but winning the round so far. They've gotten all the kills that they've needed, and they're looking to put this onto a 3-3 scoreline to even up the side, and no one as special. Okay, so this season, of course, everyone's probably watched the first game at this point, but it is possible at this point for no one to win a half, which is interesting because before we saw always that there was a team that would go 3-2 and the half would be 1, and all of a sudden there's a lot of pressure on the other team to win a round, or else they're going to be put on very much the back foot. But now that you can tie, there's a bit more incentive to keep fighting in the other half, and that's what these guys want to fight for. eDomina, they are obviously very talented players, maybe not so much of a team, but they've pulled it back. They've kind of gotten the wake-up call, having this third round go flawlessly yet again, basically all getting picked off within the span of 30 seconds. That's kind of an alarm bell for them. Hey, we got to kind of pick up the pace, and we got to kind of watch the backs play together, and we've seen them doing that. Monty, of course, pushing in by himself for a bit, but ending up having a bit of support at the end of the day. And without, obviously not without a few mistakes from the side of Yellow Nash, a couple of them overextending, as you said. But even still, nonetheless, they've been able to pull back 2 different rounds, and now looking to tie at the half before they go on to their first defensive round.
Well, eDomina have been abusing the ever-living crap out of Montaigne, and it's been working out for them quite well. So I'm interested to see the response here from Yellow on Ash on their last defensive stand, as they've now swapped Doodle to an Ella, try and use those concussion mines to disorient and drop the shield of Can, as well as the smoke, hopefully doing a little bit more damage from Yellow as far as the Toxic Babes are concerned, and Nog still doing some Nog things, running out all the way from small tower. Are you kidding me? What a shot in towards Jolly. That's the Ash, your entry taken care of. Although, is Ash really the entry on this team? I feel like it's more Can who is being the entry on the team, and everyone just kind of follows suit.
Yeah, Nog with another opening pick. He's been so big for his team so far, but unfortunately to say, he needs to step it up a tiny bit if he wishes to win the half for his team right now. Can getting lit up on the main stairs, and Moist behind him on Armory. Both of them are about 100 HP combined. Hopefully they don't get taken out by that C4. That was a close one. Almost a great pick by Oasis. But no, he's going to miss that. That was a bit of wasted utility, but might have scared the attackers into knowing that there is a player that's roaming down in the basement, and they have to actually worry about him if they manage, or if they want to take this round. Of course, we still have Nog here playing on the white stairs, not letting up just yet. The breach is finally going to come in, but the first in contention is likely going to be the operator that has been the thorn in their sides for oh so many rounds, as well as an echo drone by Cookie Z, and not much time left to work with 1 minute and 5 defenders left on this top floor bomb site.
Well, the yokai drones are just wreaking havoc on Can. It's been dropped considerably as far as HP is concerned. Doodle's able to clean up Can finally with a headshot of all things against the shield player. Moist still looking down through the floorboards towards the bottom of the armory stairs. The Twitch drone of Uncle Moist will spot out Nog playing up in bathroom hallway right outside a classroom, waiting for that rotate to come, and now crouch peeking the door as Nog evacuates the Dokkaebi. Phone calls will ring out from Alpaca, and he'll be held in place momentarily, and there's a second one inside of attic now, but Uncle Moist sitting on about 15 HP, still has to evacuate underneath the default camera. Another toxic babe gets detonated at the hole in Holiday. Nog makes his retreat to the object. No, he goes to tower. My mistake. He's able to laze in shots from T2 window and drop another one. Oasis able to clean up Uncle Moist, now rushing through for the double kill. Yellow One Ash stopped the bleeding as they had the 3-0 lead and almost surrendered 3 straight of their own, but they walk into the second half with a 4-2 lead on Oregon.
That was beautiful from the defenders. Another flawless round yet again. 5 kills without a single pick, and that was some timing on the lobby push there. Admittedly, the Twitch going for that little flank clear, trying to get the pick on the operator that eventually kind of won them the round. Get another pick from all the way from T2. Nog in the lobby, but Nog just somehow managing to read that perfectly and sprint his way all the way into meeting just as the Twitch pushed down back into the main lobby to miss his target. And that is a 4-2 lead so far. As I mentioned before, it's possible to tie a half at this point. But right now, winning a half means so much more than winning a half before this kind of scoreline update, which is that's two interesting dynamics, because you can have this game where it's so even and it goes all the way, like we saw Border last time. But now there's 2 rounds that Yellow and Ash need to put them onto match point.
Need to locate
and there are 6 for the other side of iDomina. That's a big difference so far.
Well, I don't know how much I'm looking forward to this battle, but we've got a shield on shield first round. We have Can on the Clash and Doodle on the Montaigne. So it looks like maybe Yellow and Ash trying to give iDomina a taste of their own medicine. Are they really not going to reinforce that wall?
Uncle Moist wanting to put it. That's not even a crouch mirror. That's a standing mirror.
Why?
With a rotate that you can't ever get one. Okay. That's an interesting one. Usually people will blow out the little white cabinet there so that you can put the mirror a bit more to the left and still have to be safe.
Phone open. I guess the whole point. Why wouldn't you put it crouching? I guess you can't make the rotate, but you can vault over it if you do it right. That's a weird one to me. I don't know why you put that standing height if you're going to do it on a soft wall, but hey, maybe it'll work out for them. Honestly, a lot of iDomina's strategies so far have seemed a little questionable at best throughout this entire first half of Oregon and extending into the second half. It's good to see nothing much has changed.
I'm curious, what if that mirror was planned? What if they're like, okay, we can make a rotate here, but it's not actually going to work. So when they breach the gen wall and they want to rush into whites to get a pick and maybe a surprise onto the guy playing that position, they get stuck and maybe are like, oh, we can get a pick onto them back and we're not going to expect it. They're like, why is this rotate not working? That's kind of the only thing that we can really attest to. But Uncle Moist starting it out very well for their first defensive round, getting a pick on a Nog through the floor. Not expecting those pretty default floor holes to be coming out. And that's less than a minute off the board, and that's the Twitch gone. The mirror is likely still up, and that's ironic a bit. The Twitch being the one taken out from the mirror herself, but Doodle does get a pick on a Morton return, and that's one of the mirrors in control of this Montaigne. He's going to be pinging out the defenders for his teammates too, but Uncle Moist with another one. Montaigne seemingly want to challenge with a rifle as well. I'm going to get lit up by both the taser of this Clash and the impact grenade, but no shots seem to be connecting just yet.
Picking up the machine pistol now is Can right up against the reinforcement, or the lack thereof of reinforcement. Now they're both unshielding and now reshielding. The zapping going away to slow down the momentum. Cookie's breaking in bottom white as well to help facilitate the push in from Doodle. As I think he's eyeing making that pseudo rotate beside that now ejected mirror that Alpaca was able to push in, eject, and back off through Generator. Now they're playing from the opposite side. Cookies makes his way into Generator, can't vault around, and here comes Alpaca swinging around from the hallway. Jolly's able to take down Oasis. Now it's all down to Doodle. Lands a nice headshot onto Moist. He's got to back off to the top of White Stairs, anticipating another peek, and Jolly will land the headshot on the ADSing Doodle to bring eDomina back within 1 round. Still at a 4-3 deficit with the ever annoying shield play, seemingly the catalyst of both teams on that round.
And Jolly ending that off with a bit of camera work there, giving us a bit of a show, but at the end of the day, very well played by the side of eDomina to bring that back, and that's the first defensive round won. And it's looking like this map is a bit defender-sided, which is interesting to see since the attack kind of goes, again, like that textbook kind of said. But even now, Jolly on the Rook or Maestro, he's wanting an ACOG. He's switching between all of them so far, but going for a laundry room defense finally, usually the default defense of this map. However, they're going to switch off to it the second time, and they're going to bring the mirror, unlike what Yellow and Ash chose not to do, actually, is bring the mirror. They won 4 defensive rounds with only, I'm pretty sure their first one had a mirror, and the rest of them, they kind of let off, but I mean, it didn't really affect them that much, and it seems like eDomina do have a requirement for that operator. Can is actually not going to be on that clash this time. He's going to be on said mirror. I guess he's kind of an operator with a stationary shield, if I must say so myself, because the clash is kind of like a portable mirror, but you just have a zap attached to it.
Well, Jolly as well going to 6-pick off of the Echo, as we've now completely abandoned the shield play strategy, heading downstairs on the defense. Hard standard meeting hold coming up from eDomina, but Jolly 6-picking off the Echo to a Cav. This match doesn't really stop bringing the surprises, evidently.
10 seconds left.
Hard meeting hold coming up from eDomina with a Cav thrown in. Like, if you're going to play free roam meeting hold, then sure, I understand the Cav pick. And is Jolly going to try and play tower stairs? No, he's going to head back to... I was going to say, do not try and hold T2 as a Cav. Your SMG blows, and honestly, if you're going to hit a headshot with the Louise on, you're going to hit a headshot with any other gun, so just pick something different. Oh, eDomina, you confuse me.
Attackers have located
You want something aggressive. He's already prepped the back window or the doors, and he's gonna get a couple shots missed, but no lives lost just yet. And Doodle's gonna be the one to roam clear up top west side. I'm gonna find the mirror window, and they're gonna know now that it's a heavy meeting hold. 2 players pushing through blue though, and this is likely gonna be watched from the hatch inside meeting if we do have that player presence up there, and they know that now the hatch is open. And they're gonna push right through, all the way through that red hallway. Can's going to be the first line of contact without actually a mirror window, but nonetheless, Moist does get a headshot, but Nog with a quick peek on a Can takes him out as well, and Mort with a refrag onto him. 4 versus 3, some quick kills onto the bomb site, but at the end of the day, eDomina do come out on top, and these attackers left a bit of a daze as they need to push through the lobby somehow. That has gotten the main hatch open, but that's just about all the ground they've gotten. All the space they pushed in through the north side has been lost due to those 2 players falling right off the bat, and this is looking to be very defender favored as Jolly is likely still on the roam, waiting to come in from behind at any time.
Well, the back push probably would have worked out a little bit better as they were able to evacuate or escape box entirely on the push. Both Nog and Yellow were, but they didn't have any more fire support. So I imagine if they were able to push in with a larger company of attackers, they could have actually overpowered the site immediately and taken it out. Here comes Jolly with the Louise on, firing through underneath the already ejected hatch, trying to hide in the smoke. They're also going to down Mort in the process too. Uncle Moist taking a lot of damage as well as the plant is being facilitated to the laundry basket. Revive now being picked up, and the plant gets completed by Yellow and Ash. And you got 2 stacked inside of the closet. The smoke babe was shot previously, as you hear Mort clicking away at his remote detonator. Alpaca making rotate back to the stage wall with a second man in company. That's Moist. You still got Mort downstairs trying to hold off the onslaught of attackers on the objective. Oasis, though, going to take down Mort, and there goes Cookies dropping Alpaca. The last one remaining inside of the double door, and Cookies with a double kill. Putting us on a 5-3 scoreline in the favor of Yellow on Ash, and again, this round, or this match on Oregon is just wild, to say the least. A completely broken up and dismantled construction push, then a complete throw of a life there from Jolly on the Cav, a downed smoke being the catalyst for a successful plant, and then a full send through meeting that was still castled off on a retake. Oh, baby. 5-3. It's a mess to try and analyze.
That's definitely a strange one. And you'd think that Cav would be going on some type of flank, because that's kind of what Cavs do. They go on a flank, and you have no idea when they're going to come on that flank, because that's her ability, the fact that you can't hear her. But instead of that, for whatever reason, Jolly decides to sit on the bomb site itself and default back while he still has enough men on the bomb site to form a 3v3 without him. And he doesn't manage to go for that flank. He just throws his life away, as you said. And that might have simply just lost him that round. There was still a smoke alive behind the mirror window, or no, behind the wall. And he could have had the potential to deny a plant, but the good play by the attackers managing to down him before any of that could happen. There was nothing. This is confusion all throughout those last kind of execute moments. Especially the fact that they had the capability of going for a flank, because all the attackers were practically looking down the main hatch or down the main stairs trying to get a plant down, and they didn't choose to do that option. And when you're in a plant situation like that, time pressure is on your side, right?
5 seconds to go.
As the defenders, you have more people. And you know that you're going to technically even have more people when they're trying to plant, because there's only 2 people with guns trying to shoot you down where you're going for denial. And if you have a player coming from either top floor, main stairs, either maybe kitchen, if you're going to rotate all the way through there to meeting, or main door, whatever you're going to do, a guy coming from up top, 2 players down in sight, and then you have an extra player to do whatever you want. Peek the hatch, be aggressive, whatever. There's so many options there, and they chose none of them. Jolly just defaulted back so fast. That round didn't work out very well, mainly because they just said, we don't want to do anything that we can.
Attackers have recovered their
and they just kind of sat there. I don't know what to say after that. That's just kind of, that's it. They just said, all right, we're just going to sit on site. And against this Yellow and Ash roster, that's kind of not an option, as we see they're already very quickly pushing all the way through, and you see Cookie, Zed, and Nog already at the bottom of the main stairs, likely ready to go for an execute. And this is going to put them on match point if they manage to make this work. And 5v5 instead of a 3v5, they had the man count this time to play with, and smoke already off the board. That's part of their denial already no longer in play. And the execute's already being set down right now.
Oasis is going to clean up Uncle Moist. Yellow attacking on a kill as well as it's Can as the Clash stuck inside a meeting. Going to whip out the machine pistol and drop Doodle, but now he's last alive as Alpaca falls around him. Alone and able to whip out a nice shot onto Yellow and trying to go for the second one onto Cookies. A great reaction there from Can. Just can't land the headshot onto Cookies. And again, the site push, ever dominant for Yellow on Ash, and now they push Oregon to match point, up 6-3. eDomina just not having enough presence inside of the main lobby, or at least not enough pressure on the main lobby. That castle barricade right now is on the double door of meeting, is really just giving everything that Yellow on Ash wants as far as real estate, control, time, and safety to push down the main stairs. And either if they went for a back push or a front push, I mean, the site push right now with that kind of hard stance hold inside of meeting for eDomina, it's an easy take for Yellow on Ash to facilitate. So match point, and it's going to be eDomina heading back upstairs to kids in dorms. Blackbeard on a 6-pick for Oasis, but this is a tough spot to be in for eDomina.
Yeah, Yellow, not surprisingly, going to be on that Ash as well. He's been so good so far. All their team has Nog up obviously being the top fragger for the first half and likely keeping his position on that scoreboard so far. 6-3, one round is all they need. In this attack, they can make it happen. This Castle on Alpaca, they're doing a pretty similar defense to what they did round one. Uncle Moist not yet setting up those mirror windows, but not going to be surprised if they do something on yellow on white stairs. And yes, indeed, he's putting an adaptive mirror. He's got it crouched this time instead of having it standing like last time, which, I mean, admittedly, it kind of worked for them. I remember this round is the round that they won the first defense on.
Can still sticking with the clash, and I mean, the shield play was kind of working there for a minute, but they're just, at least on that downstairs presence, there wasn't enough pressure towards the main lobby. It wasn't as much of a distraction and nuisance, and that's kind of where Clash garners her power from, is being a distraction. She's not actually all that influential on a round. She's just a huge pain to deal with and dispatch of. It's a utility suck and a time suck. If she's not being a distraction, then she's not doing her job right. Pings coming out from the drones, the skeleton key disintegrating the floorboards underneath Jolly's feet, and an upside-down Oasis on Blackbeard on the armory window. It's going to force Jolly to peel out as fast as humanly possible. Nog now making his way up the armory stairs, waiting for the peeks to come in from Ken. Can you still have the Jaeger, and he'll be dispatched by the F2 through the metal bars. Another prone peek coming out on the floor. Nog sprints straight through, but immediately get refragged by Oasis on the Blackbeard. Yellow makes his way on the highway balcony. He's going to be popping open that castle barricade on the connector window, and now it's going to be up to Can to try and stall out this push down the main hallway.
They've got two guns pointed at the east side right now in the form of the smoke and the mirror, and Can on that shield. It's going to effectively put them in a 2v4, make that a 1v4 almost, as Uncle Moist gets lit up to about 1 HP. Can being kind of a mobile drone at this point for their team. That's all they have unless he manages or decides to switch his gun, but not so. Not just yet. 1 minute 30 as well, and they've got a lot to contend with. He's not even trying for a reset onto the Mira. She's just going to hold steady. Can's going to try to act like the shield that he is and hold off these bullets coming from the buck. But all they can do is wait right now. No one's going for a flank, and we even see a player at the big window from the attacking side, and one on the roof of Kids as well. They have so much to go off of. And like iDomina a couple rounds ago, they have all the options, but this time, Yellow and Ash are choosing to take them. One's sitting at the big window, and a crossfire from Oasis as well. They have so much going for them in this case. This push is really swift, but this is coordinated. They have every idea of how they're going to do this, and all the time to work with as well. They don't need to rush anything. They have 40 seconds. Flash is going in. Smoke's going to be blind. Everyone's going to be blind, actually. Can's going to peek on into that Blackbeard, take some shots, but Yellow dragging them Moist. And now the bomb being planted as well. Mort has a 1v4 to contend with. This is not looking very good. And this is likely going to be map 1, but he's got some fight left in him.
That's going to wrap it up. Cookies is going to finally secure the kill onto Mort as Ash was down outside the big window as well. Can, I don't know if it was tunnel vision, but he turned the corner at a kid's door, looked down the hallway, saw Doodle planting, and shot the wrong person. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a thing that happened right there, man. That's a rough game on either side.
I think that's just a bit of like frustration or something from iDomina, because like we've seen they haven't had that good of a time in this game. Let's be honest. They've gotten stomped on. They've just gotten ran over completely by Yellow and Ash, and living up to their name, Yellow playing Ash, and them just 3-speeding through this entire map. That was a fast 7-3, if I must say so myself. A couple of those rounds lasted 30 seconds, especially that round 3 that was again flawless from the defense of Yellow and Ash. They as I said before, I actually got that wrong, because I said in the pregame that Yellow and Ash picked Oregon. I was incorrect, so that was my bad. They did not pick Oregon. If I'm correct, Yellow and Ash picked the defending side on Oregon, but it was actually iDomina that picked the map of Oregon.
That is... I have to scroll up to confirm that, but that's possible. Yeah, iDomina picked Oregon, Yellow picked defense on Oregon, so you're correct.
I cannot...
So that was iDomina's map, and they still lost it. which is, I mean, I don't know. The shield play, I mean, if you need an example of shield play absolutely dominating Bank, look no further than the invitational grand finals between G2 and EG. There are definitely circumstances out there in which Bank has been run roughshod by shields before. So maybe there's hope here for eDomina on the second map, but it is Yellow on Ash's map pick. So that kind of concerns me as far as eDomina's futures are concerned. With that being said, we're going to head to a short break, ladies and gentlemen. In between the maps, we do have some kind of roster issue. I don't know what's going on with eDomina, but we'll figure that out during the break, and we'll have all the information for you on the other side. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to CCS North America Season 4, Week 1, Play Day 2, Game Number 2, Map Number 2, eDomina versus Yellow on Ash. Map number 1 going the way of Yellow on Ash by the scoreline of 7-3 on Oregon. We now head to Bank between eDomina and Yellow One Ash. Already surrendering the first map are eDomina. We're going to jump straight into Bank. This is an interesting one because, like I said before the break, and we do have a substitution, so we did figure out the rosters. eDomina is subbing out Alpaca in favor of Buck. So heading into Bank, this is Yellow One Ash's map pick. Buck is in, Alpaca is out. Not sure why, but it's a thing that happened, so we're going to deal with it. Montaigne being banned by Yellow One Ash. Wow, that's not a big shock at all. Clearly sick of the shield play, and I kind of had an inclination that was going to be happening, considering how annoying the shield play was on the first map. eDomina going to be banning out Hibana as their attacking ban, as they do attack first. Once again on Bank here, so interesting bans. We did see a little bit of that, like eDomina trying to play the trickery, trying to bring out the Thatcher ban and play the mutes downstairs, but Yellow One Ash reading that in ban phase. eDomina also banning out the smoke, so this leads me to think that maybe Can is electing to go either Blitz or Fuse Shield, possibly, just some kind of shield, and doesn't want to deal with a smoke. But the other ban that eDomina had on Oregon was the Legion to help facilitate the Montaigne play. Also banning out Clash. So Yellow and Ash just having none of it. They want to deal with any shields on the second map of Bank, and that's probably a good idea. So a Legion's still in play to help slow down the shields, but looking like maybe it's going to be a blitz show now from Can.
He's not happy about that, is he? This might be a 4v5 in this case, but yes, you are correct. He's going to be bringing out the blitz. He's not even going to hide it in the sixth pick. He's just going to go right out there. And in this case, the blitz versus the Monty in a map like Bank, that might make kind of a big deal considering how big the map is. Blitz on Oregon, that would not have been much of a surprise to see, as the corners are tight. You've got long hallways, you've got short hallways. That benefits Blitz, as he has that hip fire capability. And if you hit one lucky shot, then that's it, right? But in this case, because of how big this map is, Blitz has to extend so far. Okay, maybe that's a pick. That's a Finca as well, probably to help out Can. But in this case, they're going to be investing a lot into this very quick play or this Blitz. Maybe they're sending Blitz in straight through blue, Jolly in through blue, who knows? But they have the fragging potential. It's just that might this be a bit too much investment, do you think?
Into what, the aggression play?
Yeah, because they have a Finca, which is like they're putting that on Can because of how big this map is. Likely that's probably what they're doing. And it might be different. Maybe they're just doing what EXO thought he was doing during Border during the first matchup. But in reality, the Finca is a very niche operator. You're going to be this operator is going to tell the enemy that you're going for some type of fast play, which is probably why they didn't show it during 6 pick.
10 seconds left before
But after that's gone, what do you have left?
5 seconds remaining.
Well, the big thing for me here for eDomina is they're on a map that they let through the ban phase. However, Yellow One Ash clearly wanted to play, picking it. That tells me that eDomina are in a little bit of unfamiliar territory or uncomfortable territory in comparison. The fact that they're all stacking for a main lobby take here tells me that they do want to file in and play off the aggression play. We did see that kind of trade back and forth on Border between our first game of APD against Regime, and in this game, I can't really blame them for doing it, simply because, like I said, this team is very inexperienced, and they, as far as to the best of my knowledge, a very ranked heavy team. And okay, there goes your breacher, so good job there. And here comes your Finca about to fall down as well. Oasis grabbing 2 on the spiral stairs before being traded out by Jolly. And here comes Nog on the refrag from the elevator hallway. So the aggression being matched. Poor decision to go for the ADS there from Can, and he'll fall, leaving Buck alone, the newcomer, off the sub, and he's going to fall to a flank from Cookies on those spiral stairs as well. So to finish my thought, I was going to say eDomina might want to play off the aggression, as it's kind of all they've got going for them, but if Yellow One Ash are going to reciprocate with aggression on 2 fronts of their own, I have a feeling Bank is not going to last very long.
Yeah, that's that's not quite a flawless round, but that reminds me of something. Remember map 1 where they went 3-0 on the side of Yellow and Ash, and only one person had a kill on the entire roster of iDomina? I feel like it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to wake up. Maybe it's just the fact that they need to kind of meld into the map a tiny bit. But that round number 1, letting a Pulse wander down main stairs and get 2 picks. What do you have? What do you have left past that? I can't ask that question enough. Like, not even just one operator, but letting your Thermite get picked off and the Finka not able to refrag, having the cover on her side. The Pulse is the one sitting on main stairs, and all he has is the railing, and the Finka is the one able to kind of dictate that gunfight, peek from that little pillar, and even still she loses that. And then not only that, but a refrag onto the person that managed to finally shut down the Pulse, coming out from elevator hallway that should be covered. They had so many people up in that front lobby area, and they just all got shut down one by one, eaten up by this Yellow and Ash like Pac-Man. I mean, maybe that's another thing that's Yellow. Maybe that's something else that they base their name off of. But right now, yet again, it's looking like this map is going to go in favor of Yellow and Ash pretty convincingly.
There's an interesting mirror being placed on the Teller reinforced wall, just dead smack in the middle. I don't know if they're going to try and just pop that and play off the peaks of the aggression if anyone tries to come main lobby, but it looked like everyone for eDomina was spawning on the backside and Park Alley, and that's exactly where we find everyone for eDomina. And I imagine this is going to be a back push here, and you still have the blitz from CanCan. You don't have a Finka this time around. Uncle Moist pulling out the Dokkaebi instead. An aggressive battle here for Doodle as he barely escapes back to the objective, taking almost 90 HP of damage. And Jolly, I don't know what you're trying to hit there, bud, but there's literally no one upstairs. So have fun spraying the walls for all you're worth.
That's absolutely not a fight that you can let go of. Jolly had the pick on him like that. 3 different players entering with the drone information onto the Valkyrie that was on cams and not able to secure the frag. She's gonna get reset, and all that damage will be basically for naught. First frag though onto Nog from Jolly, the player that was oh so valuable for them last game. Taken out, that's a good frag to have, and that's a Legion as well, so half the rounds with the Legion mine's no longer able to be put down, but even still that's a long ways to go. CanCan on the shield has been put down to about half HP. Health advantage, though, still in favor of the attackers, as well as man advantage. Oasis and Doodle both at around 50 each, but they're holding certain angles. And these attackers are likely not going to be informed about those set angles, and you see a lot of this kind of grouping up from the side of iDomina, and that's not really going to benefit them too much. As we see Oasis, he's going to be the point of contact for every single one of these players, and that's bad timing for him. Is this Blitz going to know?
No, CanCan's just going to try and tunnel in straight through the objective, and he's going to make it to the Teller's desk in perfect purview of the mirror window. But here comes the aggression now from Oasis as Doodle also claimed the life of Mort. Yellow's been down, trades back and forth between Moist and Odd, and now retreating back to the objective as Oasis trying to make it to the server stairs. Unable to facilitate a revive as Moist will clean up his downed Yellow and clean off Doodle. Now last alive is Oasis, slightly above half HP, trying to descend back in through the Archives doorway into the objective. Buck and Uncle Moist holding down Archives, waiting for the retreat of Oasis. Sorry, Tellers. Rotate hole, and now Oasis is going to walk straight through. He lines up Buck, but just not enough damage coming up from the UMP, and eDomina will take a round back in their favor off of a very convoluted route to get into the objective, but it works out nonetheless, and unfortunate there for the remaining defender who wasn't Yellow. I can't remember who it was, but unable to pick up Yellow, who had been downed inside the objective, and just couldn't get that revive off.
Definitely a good second round showing from iDomina there, losing a bit of ground during the middle of it. However, showing up at the end, giving all those reflags, and Moist showing up for his team as well, of pushing on into the site and getting 2 picks for his own. Not a reflag in sight for the side of Yellow and Ash, and that secures them around for this team. And that's a 1-1. That's an even scoreline. This is definitely not as dominant of a defense as we saw from map number 1 coming up from Yellow and Ash. This blitz, kind of a pain in the side for Yellow and Ash so far. Not really doing too much in of his own, but definitely the distraction as well as the teammates following him up. Not a bad pick. So surprisingly, blitz not doing that bad. The Monty ban doesn't seem to affect CanCan that much, and we're going to see how much the Clash ban manages to affect him. But that's a ways off, as they've got a number of defenses to contend with this blitz that's likely going to keep being picked from CanCan. I don't see him letting up on this, as it's technically worked for them at least once.
Well, another attempt coming out here from Yellow One, Ash, and the Tellers and Archives defense, and identical operators being selected. I mean, I'm interested to see what eDomina are going to bring if they're going to try and facilitate that back push again, all spawning Park Alley and try to rush in through the backside, because their route to get to the objective was so convoluted, and yet it still worked out for them. They go in through the back of Square Skylight. They make it in top floor. They push all the way over to the south stairs, the main stairs. Then they push down the south stairs, and they push into Tellers. Then they push out to the Tellers desk. They swing around to the main lobby and then descend into Tellers. It was a winding snake of a path for eDomina when there was a much simpler straight line to the objective that would have netted the same result. But it works out for them in the end. And now they're looking to imitate the exact same thing, although this time playing upstairs will be Yellow on Ash with hard reinforcements on the CEO walls to try and hold down some top control above the objective and continue to apply pressure towards the stock hallway.
This looks like a bit more of a coordinated push from iDomina compared to last time. Not disjointed at all. We see Buck here on his signature operator looking for some picks through this mirror window, but nothing can be found just yet. And call's going to be out, and this info is going to be probably had by the attackers that Nog is playing upstairs, at least maybe with one teammate, if that. But he's going to be pressured very, very heavily from the southeast, as Buck, in his namesake, is trying for some more stuff, but Nog does it. What is that? I was about to say Nog has the info, but Moist doesn't even care. He denies Doodle anything up there, and one frag all the way in favor of the attackers. Oasis with some damage dealt, and it's all in looking towards eDomina's side right now. Blitz finally going to take some shots, but that's all that Yellow and Ash have to go for them at this point.
Holiday Nog trying to ping for Oasis, turn around, try and make it rotate, and Holiday Nog turns right at the most inopportune time, but still lands the shot under Mort before CanCan will trade out Oasis upstairs, and that'll signal Holiday Nog to juice himself back up and head towards ATMs. I mean, I guess if he can hide out here long enough without the drones coming out, because we haven't really seen a lot of droning from eDomina throughout this game, this could actually be a nasty flank if it's not caught. The only problem is you're going to have Buck upstairs wreaking havoc, ripping up the floorboards and trying to displace any of the anchors still holding down the objective. Cookies and Yellow are going to have a bad time, and that's going to signal Nog to come back to the objective. You're going to reset CanCan back into 50 HP on the blitz as they start to descend in towards the objective. Smoke canisters being launched in through the cracks in the floors, and you're going to see CanCan try and go in for a plant as well, holding off the rotation, and Doodle will disconnect, but thankfully he'd already been deceased in the round. CanCan will finally make it into the objective, and you still have Buck causing havoc for the anchors inside of Tellers. Nog able to hit a rotate now through open area into kitchen. He's going to keep extending that off, but now you've got a man down on the side of Yellow on Ash, another one down, so it's all up to Nog and Jolly holding that flank. We'll cut it down, and eDomina take the lead on Bank, and it looks like we're going to head to a rehost for Crash. No? Telling us to hold on. Maybe he can make it back in time.
He's got a bit of time left to deal with, and maybe this could be a bit of time for them to talk some stuff out, because that was a round all in favor of eDomina. There were a couple of refrags here and there, but at the end of the day, they had all the top floor control and the entry frag as well for them. That really led to their victory in that round, as Blitz managed to get 2 kills. And yeah, he's definitely not going to be switching off that operator anytime soon. I don't think they know how to deal with this so far. A Monty on Oregon, seemingly less of a threat than a Blitz in this case, and that's Are they allowed to just play it? Sorry for cutting off my thought, but they're saying that they're just gonna 4v5 this, and I am not entirely sure that's allowed, and no, we're gonna go for a rehost very soon.
We're just questioning it. Wait. Why wait?
Oh, what? He's back, but he's not entirely alive in the round, so I just don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're gonna rehost that, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate we have to rehost that, even though he made it back in a couple more seconds or a couple seconds earlier, and we would have been fine. But that's how she goes. We're gonna set it back up. It is eDomina currently up 2-1 after Yellow One Ash attempted 2 defenses of tellers and archives unsuccessfully after being successful on the first basement defense that the attack never even came close to the basement on. So that was interesting. I'll be interested to see if this aggression and shield play from Can can continue, because like you talked about, Bank, a very open, very spread out map, lots of surface area to cover, so there's lots of possibilities for crossfires to be established. We're just not really seeing something that we saw a lot of on Oregon from Can, which was the individual play from Can. This time he's smothered by other attackers all surrounding him, making sure that he has this nice little comfort blanket so that he can be the driving force of the push and everyone can follow in tail. On Oregon, we saw a lot of Can as that Montaigne, just full shielding and pushing in wherever he really wanted to. This time is the Blitz, and he feels a little more exposed, so he's not trying to solo push everything by himself, and it's working out in eDomina's favor. Sorry.
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting thing. eDomina seemingly have a better grasp on Bank, which is not their map pick. We got to remember that, than they did in Oregon, which is their pick. Which is, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Maybe they messed up on the map bans a bit of a blunder there, but even still, if they're gonna do anything, they're gonna do it here. They're up 2-1. And I'm pretty sure this is the only lead they've had in this entire series, if I'm correct. I don't remember one on the first map, especially since they were down 3-0. And I'm pretty sure they did manage to tie. No, they were down 4-2. That's right. They didn't tie. They lost the first half, and they never came back from that. So if they're gonna do anything, they're gonna do it now with a round advantage at this point. Yellow and Ash, after this rehost, they're gonna be able to go back to downstairs, if I'm correct, because there have been 2 rounds that have been elapsed since they won the first 4 defense. But even still, eDomina have looked stronger and more coordinated on these attacks than they have on the entirety of Oregon, where they've just gotten picked off one by one. And it's definitely looking good for them to bring this back to a tie. And admittedly, I thought this was going to be a 2-0. Again, I thought we were going to see 2 wins today, but eDomina looking to make that not the case. They want to at least draw this series.
So we're just setting everything up for the rounds. Waiting to get back into the lobby. Yeah, we can throw it to a quick break. It'll be a short break while we get everything set up, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with the second map, Bank. It is currently a 2-1 lead for the attacking side of eDomina on Bank. We'll be right back.
Show me how to get to know someone like you, someone like you. I want you to know me, 'cause I know then you'll see we could be true. we can be true. I want you to see what I see in us. Something so real, something so real. I want you to see that this is a love that we both feel, that we both feel. And how will we ever know if the love will ever grow without trying, without trying? And how will we ever see if we are meant to be? It's terrifying, it's terrifying. That we're meant to be.
Mike was muted. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the conclusion of the evening. It is map number 2 between eDomina and Yellow on Ash. Current scoreline is a 2-1 lead for eDomina on the attacking side on Bank. Oregon was a 7-3 scoreline in the favor of Yellow on Ash. And now we head into the 4th round, midway through the first half of Bank, and it looks like Yellow on Ash are going to be heading downstairs. Their successful, actually their only victory round on Bank, and it was the war of main lobby. Really, that was the telling story of round number 1, and I'll be interested to see if it's a duplication of that this time around, or maybe eDomina elect for a server rush, or I don't know, an open area rush to drop down Red Hatch, or some crazy nonsense. But that's kind of what we're expecting to see from eDomina. Not a lot of structure and real estate control over the map. Not a lot of progressional play, just a lot of tunnel visioned, one objective, single-minded play with a lot of aggression behind it.
And seemingly that's worked
Defenders,
2
protect
rounds,
your bombs.
not entirely the entire
Defused
map.
by
Just yet they
attackers.
have a long ways to go, but so far they are in the lead for eDomina. That's not something that probably most of us expected, other than maybe the strafe app. Maybe they got something right, but admittedly they can't actually win at this point. The best they can do is a draw, but they're looking to put it so. At this moment, this is not looking as strong as Oregon or Yellow and Ash at the moment. And they're going to have to wait. They're going to have to find a way to probably shut down this blitz. That blitz is a thorn in their side. They have gotten... That blitz has gotten
10
considerable
seconds to
amount of
go.
kills. 2 is not like a small number in this case, of course. That's
5 seconds
almost
remaining.
half your team getting taken out by a single operator with a shield in front of his face. And admittedly, that's
Attackers have recovered
probably
the
frustrating
diffuser.
for them. But they
Attackers'
have to
objective
find
is to locate a
something
bomb
like a
and defuse it.
crossfire, like you said before the break. But with this map, there's so much opportunity to shut down said blitz, and they're just not taking it right now. And yet again, like you said, another maybe a blue rush coming in, but Doodle's going to be playing at the top of blue stairs and not going to be able to have first contact with anyone that decides to push through. But for now, it's kind of stalled at this tunnel. The drone's going to go in, so they're going to have the information on whatever is going to be playing inside here, and the retreat back to the servers. Nog has basically trapped himself in here at this point, and if Jolly decides to go for a push, there's not much that he can do. He's at least have some support from the Pulse, but everything's basically stalled out, and if the Blitz takes the first entry, this might be a big problem. All 5 players are tunneling into this literal dirt tunnel, and that's a Doodle getting 2 big frags. Jolly and Man Can going down. Who Can is apparently this Jaeger, as he shuts down that aggressive play right off the bat. Their top fragger, as well as this Blitz, he's found a way to counter him, I guess. Just shoot him in the head from the side. And all of a sudden, they're going for an entirely different plan. They have to change it up. They don't know what to do anymore.
Trying to swap it up now as Doodle is anticipating this rappel in. The free fire. A lot of shots into Uncle Moist, but he'll evacuate down the server stairs, trying to maintain that man count advantage. Tries to go in for a secondary peek. The shots won't land behind the planters and the railing. A lot of obstruction there of the bullets to land on its intended target. And Uncle Moist now holding with the MK14, trained in towards the top of these server stairs. No one going to attempt the re-peek there from Yellow One Ash. They know the position they're in, already down a round. They do not want to be surrendering more rounds that they've basically garnered for free, considering that server rush fell apart insanely quickly off of just one man's play with the 416. Oasis as well aware. Cookie's pressuring up the main stairs with a shotgun. He's going to win that out. ironically with a headshot that does no multiplier damage on shotguns, but nonetheless, another man felled on the side of eDomina. A thermite charge coming out from behind the teller's desk and a quick drop in. The metal bars, Yellow will save it out as the UMP bullets rattling off the jail cell bars, and Holiday Nog will clean it up on the main stairs. A separated final push in that 2v5 for eDomina. Not working out well for them, and we level things up once again, but the difficulty remains for Yellow One Ash to find a successful secondary bomb site to utilize on Bank. Clearly, Tellers and Archives was not it. So this time around, they're going to be electing to head to Executive and CEO, the top floor on Bank.
Probably a pretty good decision, as they've gotten absolutely torn apart on their Tellers defense twice in a row, and now a similar lineup going to be probably expecting this Tellers defense yet again. They have a Buck for that vertical play, and the Takabi to find any roamers on the top floor. Blitz, of course, just to entry, of course. What else is Blitz going to do other than shoot people and blind them so they can't see him while he's shooting at them? Otherwise, this lineup is technically, it's doable. You can attack the CEO bomb site with a Buck and a Blitz, of course. I mean, it's not the end of the world. They don't have a glass to sit in parking garage, but that's not entirely needed in this case. The Buck can always go underneath. This entire bomb set is, of course, destructible from the floor, as I mean, angles are a two-way streak, so you can destroy from the top down to Tellers and from Tellers up into CEO as well. So that's likely what Buck is going to have to do at this point. As
10 seconds to go.
I mean, that's his only job at this point, right? Other than maybe tossing some frags in from the east side skylight into the bomb site, if we see any anchors in there. But in this case, Yellow and Ash setting up pretty standard top floor defense, and okay, we see a couple of shenanigans happening in the spawn, but at least in this case, not all 5 players are going to be spawning in the back alley. We're going to have a bit of a switch up from the attackers. At least one operator is going to be pushing from perhaps the main lobby, knowing that this is a CEO defense. That main lobby rappel, or even a position on the parking garage for an extended period of time, is not a very bad decision. And we see Uncle Moist there playing the Takabi with a single shot rifle. Does massive amounts of damage and is looking for any rotates. Perhaps Nog might manage to come into his sights, but not just yet.
It's Holiday Nog playing in the stock hallway. Previously droned out a wonderful shot onto Buck as he tried to rip open the stock wall to try and ascertain an angle in towards this aggressive play from Holiday Nog, and now he'll back out deeper into stocks. I guess this rotation was spotted here as pre-fires from Jolly. No, that's Mort, sorry. Blazing in some shots into the depths of stock, and now here comes Can going to try and vault in through as well. Holiday Nog going to have to back out, taking a little bit of damage as the exothermic charge gets placed on the wall, and Holiday Nog is able to evacuate safely, and Doodle's going to grab the second kill now, and a third coming out now as Yellow is able to down but not finish off Jolly. Aggression met with aggression coming out from Yellow on Ash, and it's working out wonderful for them. The Nitro Cell will not connect on its intended target, but Nog will finally clean up Can, leaving Uncle Moist in a technical 1v5 as Jolly continues to bleed out against the breach hole. Holding from Skylight now, trying to see if anyone's going to come out for that peek to try and clean the down Jolly. Holding every ounce of blood inside as much as possible. He's going to drop down the square balcony, waiting for the peaks to come out, and Jolly's just laying prone on the floor. Nothing he can do as we approach 70 seconds left in the round. Uncle Moist trying to rip straight through and through stock and maybe take over site by himself. The Evil Eye will finally take down Jolly as Uncle Moist is able to claim one victim in the SMG-12, but not a second as Oasis firing skyward to the hatch will drop Moist, and it'll be Yellow on Ash retaking control of this game, seemingly finding another bomb site they can head to with ease. The problem is they got to find a third one now as they've won back-to-back defenses.
I mean, Bank does have some options for you to go to. They're going to go to open area. That's what they're going to select. Probably not too confident in their Tellers defense at this point. Maybe if they need to, they can adapt, but they have other options right now. So they're going to choose them for the time being as they take second round in a row right now on their defensive side. And now they're back in the lead, and iDomina have to find something to do to break open these bomb sites that they haven't been able to yet. Obviously, Tellers is not the only choice for Yellow and Ash to go to, so being great on one bomb site doesn't guarantee a map win. Even if they decide to go to it twice, all it's going to get you is 2 rounds, and that might be over half of what they have managed in the first map. That's still under the threshold they need to take anything in this series and to make it a tie. So iDomina is still looking on the back
Defenders,
foot.
protect your bombs from
but
being defused by attackers.
Buck on the Blackbeard now, no longer playing his signature operator. Maybe this might change up a bit. He has a second chance now for any given gunfight. If he manages to win it, he can take yet another one for a maximum of 2 different times. But Blackbeard definitely going to be favored in any gunfight relating to the main lobbies.
By attackers.
Well, angles are very, very long. If he decides to maybe repel on the front or just flank watch from main door, whatever he's going to take, it's going to likely be in his favor, as these SMGs from the defenders don't really fare too well at those ranges, other
10
than
seconds
Nog
left before
perhaps going
insertion.
for some headshots. But of course, Buck being on the Blackbeard is going to completely deny that.
seconds remaining.
And Nog, seemingly, speaking of denial, he wants to deny anything from even getting in the
Attackers
building.
recover the diffuser.
And one operator
Attackers
spawning in
are
the
heading
front
out to
might
defuse
get
the
taken
bomb.
down by the spawn
Attackers
peak,
drop the
but
bomb
not
diffuser.
entirely sure. Four to be found yet again in the
Attackers
back
have
alley.
recovered
Probably
their
pretty
diffuser.
smart, knowing that Yellow and Ash are this kind of aggressive team as well. They know that they can hit their shots, and Nog, as shown from Oregon, has the prowess to land any kind of headshot that he possibly wants, and Jolly knows that as well, watching for that run out yet again. But Nog smartly drops back closer to the bomb site.
Gonna get droned out inside of the stock hallway again. It's gonna be Buck on the first contact outside of that stock window, but he's got the face shield. This time he's gonna lose this shield, but it'll save his life. He's under 20 HP, but can showing that he can also use a rifle instead of a shield. The first round, I believe, we've seen in every single attack so far, which is the last attacking round, at least in regulation here on Bank for eDomina. It'll be Can swapping off a shield op in favor of the C8, and attempted reset, I imagine, but why the hell would you not just jump off a roof?
Even still, that gun does no damage. He must have sprayed accidentally, because that was about 20 HP to 0 quickly, and Oasis gets a pick, and that's...
Oh my god, how did you lose that?
Oh no, that's this is a big mess up from the side of iDomina. They had the upper hand. They took out the top fragger for the team, but nothing to be found right now. It's a 1 versus 4. Mort has to do a lot right now, and it's a lot to ask. He doesn't time, but it's going to be a challenge. He's getting peeked on by every single angle. 1 so far, but he has to find 3 more, and that's not going to happen. Oasis going to shut him down from the skylight stairs. And a kind of a misplay from the side of iDomina, losing a teammate to a proposed reset. That's something you can't have happen at this level of play. You have to know exactly the health value of all your teammates, and especially your gun as well. Failing a reset with the SMG-12, that's kind of the mind-blowing part to me, considering that gun does so little damage that you barely can kill an enemy with it unless you hit a headshot. I don't know what to say about that. That's a blunder, if anything, and that's the first half going in favor of Yellow and Ash yet again with the same scoreline.
The biggest moment of that round to me was the constant pings coming out onto Oasis as Jolly turned the corner as Ash against an MPX. How do you lose that? You have all the info, you have the far superior weapon, you have the better mobility. Like you just effed up your shot, basically. Like there's no other excuse for that. Like that's it's just compounding factors round after round for eDomina that slowly chip away. And I guess they can take solace in the fact that they started the game pretty well on their attacking rounds on towards Tellers and Archives, but other than that, they've not really found any footing. And now heading to their defenses, they're also going to elect to defend Tellers and Archives first. So clearly knowing how to attack it well enough to place Yellow and Ash from ever electing to go there for the rest of the map. They're going to elect to use it as their primary defense. And like you said, same scoreline heading into the second half as Oregon.
10 seconds left before
Down
insertion.
4-2. It's 3 more rounds here for Yellow and Ash to wrap this thing
5
up.
seconds
It's
to go.
a long battle to come back up the mountain to keep this intact. And
Attackers
Uncle Moy's
recover
going for a
the
spawn
bomb
peek here as
Attackers
Echo.
are moving to defuse
And
the
he
bomb.
lingers for a couple
Defender
extra
is
seconds while
approaching
being
the kill zone.
detected. Now he's going to whip
Defender
around
exposed.
towards the jewelry spawn, and he's not going to spot everyone from Yellow on Ash jumping down the sewer tunnel. And they're going to come to blows here at the top of the server stairs in just a moment.
Yeah, that's actually every single one of them, other than I think one player on this site
the hell?
or on the roof or something like that. This is a quick blue rush, but Ash is the one holding the angle on a flank, and Buck does get one frag, but refrag instantly. Odd. Okay, Buck hit firing with the iron sights and refragged by Nog with a knife. And Nog with another one on his pistol, giving Can a taste of his own medicine. But right now, it's the shield main against the very person that he desires to. Okay, desires. Okay. Yep. Nog's happy about that one. Yep.
That's
no
a
chance.
4K with the blitz for Holiday Nog. Hey man, I'll say this. During Challenger League, when Nog was on Vicious and I was casting those games, Nog's tags just said the word retired at the end. He never actually had his team name of Vicious in his tags until like the very end of the season, I believe. It was just Nog.retired. I'm interested in this Brett Favre-esque comeback out of retirement and domination lately, because even in Challenger League on a Vicious team that didn't really pull their weight as much until the very end of the season, it was Nog at the end of the season that was really pulling them out of the depths. I mean, they were in 7th place heading into Playday number 10, I think. Either Playday number 9 or 10 in Challenger League, and they were able to secure the 4th seed, I believe, in the 3rd seed, sorry, in the Challenger League playoffs. So
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
I really gotta
bombs if
ask,
they
like,
can.
Nog, are you sure you want to be retired, buddy? I would strongly recommend doing everything you're doing right now and continuing the run, but other than that, he's going to continue the blitz, and that's kind of what the moral of the story has been through both of these games. Is there's been one team setting the pace and one team trying to mirror it. We saw that with the APD game against Regime just trying to respond in kind with aggression of their own. And then similarly here, we have, interestingly enough, eDomina setting the pace and setting the tone of the game, but not being able to capitalize on it. It is their type of game. This is their game script. This is the way they wanted the game to go.
Attackers
But
have recovered their diffuser.
it's not working out for
Locate
them.
a bomb and defuse it.
Yeah, and speaking of 7th, not only is that 7th place, but no longer. Nog secured his 7th kill onto the Maestro at the end of that last round, and he's sitting 7-1 right now. Keep in mind, that is after the rehost, so it does not include kills from the first 3 rounds. So he's
Attackers have
actually got
located a
more
bomb.
than 7 frags in this game. That man is carrying his team right. Pulse is doing some interesting dance inside a server. Maybe he's already given up, but I hope not. I want to see a good game here. And Moist finally getting some info on the servers from Gold, and he knows that this push is kind of focused towards there, and a bit of a good thing for their team. And Nog has already put on half HP. That any health taken off the blitz is going to be very good for your team. Anything above 0, of course, is not going to end his reign of terror just yet, but even still, a couple less body shots in order to secure that kill onto that very influential offer is going to help out a lot. And Mort trying to light him up even more, not going to find any connection onto that hand.
A little over a minute into the round now, and the server push in full force. Cookies is going to start things off on the Jolly, and that's the Echo dispatched of. Your most influential plant deny here is all you've got left is the Nitro Cell. Mort on literally 1 HP, and Holiday Nog will finish it off with the ADS. Oasis tacks on with the C7. Now it's down to a 2v5. Can on the mirror trying to laze in any pre-fires in towards server possible. And now Holiday Nog will finally get dispatched as he tries to vault by Yellow, storming straight through on Ash, as the namesake says. Will put us on match point and series point for Yellow on Ash, up 6-2 on Bank. Having already been victorious 7-3 on Oregon, eDomina with their backs against the wall.
Amazing push from the side of Yellow and Ash there. That was one-sided as all. There's nothing else to say. That was beautiful. Just taking control of server, and even with
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can. Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Attackers recovered the
Time even,
diffuser.
not even to win the
Attackers'
game, but
objective
this
to
is
defuse a bomb.
gonna look pretty tough for them at this point.
Well, it looks like Uncle Moist might be trying to set the tone at the garage entryway, but no, he'll back off into the depths of the garage, and Yellow just sending it straight in through the main lobby and not really checking the drones all that much. And aggressive runouts here as Holiday Nog will take a lot of damage, but Cookies will finish off Mort, and as Holiday Nog got downed, he'll back off even into the depths of the sewer tunnel, try and get a revive off. I'm just going to keep going. Yeah. Can inside a server with this Ella shotgun. The FO12 is Holiday Nog now getting Finka boosted, turning the corner and ripping up and finishing off a wild doodle. Now detected on 5 HP. He's got nowhere to go. Segmented off. I hope it was worth the kill, but you're still going to be at a man disadvantage here. Little under a minute has surpassed. This is a big issue here. Holiday Nog firing in will take down Jolly as well. Can still detected inside the sewer tunnel, and they're not even concerned. Any movement he makes will be spotted. Yellow takes down Uncle Moist. It's all up to Buck alone on the objective to keep them alive. The blitz coming through. Holiday Nog grabs one. Can falls. Buck trades off Yellow. It's down to Buck now in the 1v3. Holiday Nog has diffuser and can cleanly push into server and into the A-bomb, turning to the corner and just missing the head of two as one rips down the red hallway. Flipping back and forth, has to try and facilitate a reload, but Cookies, pulling up the M1911, will clean it up. And Yellow on Ash will take the series 7-3 on Oregon, 7-2 on Bank.
What a convincing victory from Yellow and Ash. I think that's the most one-sided we've seen in this entire season. That was domination at its finest.
Well, that's gonna do it for the evening. We're going to be wrapping things up now. So Yellow on Ash and the APD take our first victories of the season. 2 draws on Wednesday.